Hey everyone, I'm Noah Jones. I'm a reporter with Richland Source, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Kurt Conrad of Richland Source as well. We are here with another edition of the Pigskin Podcast, and we are joined by senior Shelby Whippet quarterback Brennan Armstrong, who is a verbal commit to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And we are here in the Idea Works studio, and if you are interested in any of the beautiful scenery that you see here today, on YouTube, you can definitely come and check out the Idea Works building at ideaworksohio.com. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Just a few, housekeeping things here. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us at where are we at the app?
Google Play
Google
and
Play
iTunes,
Store, yeah.
and of course YouTube, and then our website.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in taking a tour of the building, I think that's available on November 1st. We have some tenants now, but soon enough, we will have some vacancies. So
I think by the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Again, Brennan, thanks for being here. Noah, you might not know this, but you're the only non-left-handed person sitting at the table right now.
I did not know that. I now feel like a minority.
No, it's a right-hander's world. I can tell you that. It's a lot of things.
I'm going to
made for
continue to
right-handed
not
people.
have ink smudged on my hand as I write.
Right on. Brennan, just about ready to celebrate a birthday here in a couple weeks, right?
Yep, October 19th.
Oh,
Be coming,
18?
Yep, 18. Coming up
Happy
here
birthday.
soon. Yep.
Any big plans for that? Or?
Really, nothing really, to be honest with you. I don't even know what day that falls on.
Probably playing football games.
Yeah.
The Whippets are 6-0 this year, but it's probably the second biggest story in Shelby this week. The varsity girls golf team is headed back down to state. And are you going to make your way down there next weekend? Or?
I'm gonna try. I'll try. Most of the time, I don't get down to stuff like that, but good luck to those girls, and I'm sure they'll do great down there.
I think it leads to a bigger conversation. You guys have, and I've covered sports around here for a long time. You guys have a great student section. I mean, they are so supportive. I mean, what's the Red Rage mean to you guys out there?
It means a lot. I don't know when it started, but we've always been able to carry it on from when it started until now. We always have someone take it over as a senior.
Right.
Red Rage or the Dog Pound, football or basketball, So it's always been a sweet thing to have at our school and have them come support us every game and every athletic event.
And no, if you've never been there, it's like a well-organized machine. I mean, they actually get things organized in advance. It's really a cool thing to see. Now you're headed to the University of Minnesota. You committed what February last year?
Yeah, like February, March. Yep.
If I were Minnesota's offensive coordinator, I'd look at the Richland Source website every Saturday morning and just be thrilled to death between you and Jornell Manns. You guys are putting on a show this fall. I mean, just talk to us a little bit. I mean, you and Jornell, when we had Jornell on a couple weeks ago, you said you guys had a little bit of a relationship. Just talk a little bit about that. I mean, is it exciting the prospect of playing with someone else from
Yeah, it's a really cool experience because you don't really see a lot of kids from this area. And we got me, Jornell, and Cade and those guys, and probably more to come, to be honest with you. But yeah, me and Jornell go long way back. Like I heard him say, we played back in basketball, 4th grade all the way up, and we've always competed with each other. And now finally getting to the high school, we never really competed with each other in a high school stage, but going to college together, and it'll be just a cool experience because 419 kids coming into Minnesota, so it'll be a cool experience.
And I mean, I'm sure you kind of pay a little bit of attention. I mean, he's having quite a season for the Tigers. I mean, is it exciting, the prospect of being on a field with him on a Saturday afternoon up there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it because I've always seen him on film and stuff like that, but I've never actually got to interact with him during football, in the locker room. How's that just a new experience, especially going to college with him. So I can't wait for us to get there and work hard and try to start there.
We talked to him a few weeks ago, and he said he was, contemplating the possibility of graduating early. You're going to do the same thing. What goes into that decision? That's a pretty big decision. I mean, what goes into that?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I was hesitant when I first was thinking about committing, where I was going to commit, and how I was going to if I was going to leave early or not. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to leave early.
Right.
And then I was like, well, and then people started telling me you're a quarterback, you got to get there, learn the offense, things like that. Start getting accustomed to their just academics, athletics, and all the training they do. So but once I figured that I was going to go, I made sure my guidance counselors, we talked, and obviously got my classes set up for this semester for my senior year. Got all my classes I need to take and required, and once I get done with this semester I'll be ready to roll.
I mean, logistically, you have to clear it with the school and all that stuff first?
Yeah,
How does that work?
you have to, like, because you have requirements in our Shelby High School. So once I have 2 classes that require my senior year, so I'm taking those right now. And then we have, like, end of course exams, which have requirements for points and things like that. But I've already got all those. ACT is good. And so once I complete and once I pass my 2 classes that I have to, I'll be really good.
I would imagine it's academics notwithstanding, it would be tough. I mean, you're a very good baseball player. You got to sacrifice your senior season of baseball. I mean, is that how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I grew up playing baseball more
Right.
than I played football, and I started that when I was like 8. So I remember going into my freshman year, when I started football, I took travel baseball off and didn't do that because I wanted to focus on football because I started to like that a lot
Right.
more. And obviously that took off, and I was like, well, shoot, I might have to ride with football more than I thought baseball. I thought baseball would be my go-to, but football started coming, started focusing on that more and things like that. But in high school, not being able to play my senior season, it's really it's hard, but I know what my opportunities are ahead of me. So leaving early is a good opportunity for me to do. So it eases the heart
Right.
with baseball.
Now, did you play on the Mud Hens team? I mean, there's an awful lot of good baseball talent around here. I mean, probably played with the guys at Madison
Yeah.
and Thomas Staub down at Clear Fork. I mean, what was that experience like? That's an awful lot of athleticism
yeah,
on the baseball team.
It was, to be honest with you, like when we started that, it was like we put on a Shelby team. Then we went to this. We call them the Richland County Rebels. Then we moved to the Mud Hens, and
Okay.
like we all meshed so well.
Right.
Like it was so much fun because we go to the hotels, stay overnight in hotels at other different states, and we meshed so well even though we came from different schools.
Right.
And it was actually such a fun time, and got to have those guys with me for like 2 years of my life, and we still have friendships today.
Right.
So it was a great experience with those guys.
Now, last year, you kind of transitioned to the closer for the Whippets. How many saves did you end up with?
I'm not too sure. I know I was 7 for 7 with saves at one point, but then I started losing track. I didn't start keeping track of them anymore. So
Did you find that kind of suited you better? I mean, did you like
yeah,
that?
well, my arm was like, if I threw a lot, my arm would kind of get tired.
Right.
So like it was easier for me just to come in and close a game, and my arm would be fresh if they needed me to come in the next day. So that was like the best option for us as a team to do that.
Right.
So
Now, I've been doing this for a while, and I remember the 2007 and 2010 Shelby football teams. I don't know. Do you remember? I mean, those were both playoff teams. Both really
yeah,
good
I think
teams.
Zach Strine
Right. He
and
was the
those
2010 quarterback.
Yeah, I remember those guys because Zach Strine coached my freshman year. He coached our freshman team.
Okay.
So
They were a lot different offensively than you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
They were run happy, or it was run first. Back
yeah,
then.
I'm not sure. I think maybe when we got into I don't know actually when we started switching our offense a little bit. I think maybe when Coach Will came in, we started like spreading things more out because I think he saw what was coming up and things like that. So
Right. I would imagine for you, it's like Christmas morning every time you walk on the field. You guys got so much athleticism all around. What's it? I mean, you have a 2,000-yard running back in the backfield with you. You got 4 great receivers. Having all those weapons. What's that like?
for us, it's easy. I mean, all of our guys know that any other guy can make a play at any time, and so like the unselfishness of every player. Because I mean, most of the time, if one of those players went to another school, they'd be pretty good on that team. Like they might be one of the better players, and they're good to get the ball a lot. But with us, we have so many of them, and they might not get the ball every play. But they're so unselfish that they just know if they have to block for the other guys, they make the plays and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a I don't know. I mean, it's easy for us. I don't know how teams scout us when they see all of our players on the outside and things like that. But it's an easy job for us. We just get the guys the ball that we need to get to them, and then just make the plays that we have to make.
Right. Now you came in. You started right away. You were a starter as a freshman. I think I covered you guys twice your freshman year, and both of them were just absolutely devastating losses.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was at Clear Fork. I think they scored in the last minute.
Yeah,
Hail
I
Mary.
remember that one.
The second one was in Ontario, a bad snap because your center got hurt or something crazy.
Yeah,
like
our
that.
center and things like that.
I
yeah.
mean, how as a freshman, how hard is it to deal with those things? I guess. I mean, was it hard to put that aside and just keep?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't know how to take it in because I was so new to the all the new stuff, and so like I kind of just took it in and I really didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
And like Coach Will, I remember Coach Will coming up to me and just saying, don't ever lose your winning mentality. Through these couple years that we might have to, we're going to take some losses like we did, and don't ever lose that winning mentality. And when we'll get rolling here in the next few years, which obviously we have. And so that's really what kind of that was like one thing I remember that he said to me that kind of kept pushing us and kept pushing me and making sure our programs headed in the right direction.
Then I think a week after that Ontario loss, you guys played in one of the probably the greatest high school games in the history of Ohio. No, you weren't around then. It was 83-82 in overtime. It was against Tiffin Columbia, and Brennan had, I think, 500 yards and 9 touchdowns. What do you remember about that?
Madden game that good.
Yeah, I remember we were down half. You know, obviously going into that game my freshman year, we weren't expecting to win. It was Tiffin Columbian.
Right.
But we were down at half, like 35-21, something like that, and we came back out and we just kept scoring. Like we didn't think, I don't think none of us knew what was really happening. We just kept scoring and they kept scoring, and then we stopped them once or twice and we scored and got the game even closer. And then we had like the onside kick to get the ball back and score a touchdown, go for the 2-point conversion. It tied up at like 75-75. And from there on, it was like.
Was it Cody Stein?
Yeah, it was Cody Stein. Yep, he graduated. Yeah, all the way back then, and I think he's in Akron now. But yep, it was him to catch that.
Then your sophomore year, you guys, 2-8. Your freshman year, you improved to 5-5, and played for a conference championship late in that year. Right?
Yeah, we did.
I don't know who was it.
It was Bellevue. Yeah.
Right.
And we would have shared it, but we played for one. Yeah.
I mean, how different, I guess, was the game between your freshman and sophomore year? Did it start to slow down for you a little bit? Or?
Yeah, it started slowing down. I was still I still felt young, and I felt like I had there wasn't much for me to take. I was still trying to take in as much as possible.
Right.
But then my sophomore year, more of my guys started coming up with me, and obviously junior year they got with me. So it was easier as my guys started coming up with me, and more of a chemistry build. So it got easier as every year. So.
And that kind of set the stage for last year. I mean,
you
guys were a regional finalist team. You gave Steubenville all they wanted in the regional championship game. I mean, what was that experience like, getting that deep into the playoffs?
Something we never experienced, as I think, and for a long time. Like just the team and the community just hasn't experienced something like that, and the community did, and they came out, filled the stands and things like that. But overall, as a team, it kind of just opened our eyes of what we're capable of, and it's just because we had 2 bad seasons in a row. Or no, 5-5 is not terrible, but building up just shows us what we're capable of, and obviously this year we're expected to go even farther, and things like that. So
I mean that run last year really kind of set the table for this year. This year it started off you had to sit out the first 3 games for a violation of team rules. I mean, what can you tell us about that?
I mean, I just had to learn the hard way about my actions and decisions, and I think I learned a lot about myself internally, about the sport of football and how much it means to me, for my passion. Just sitting out those 3 games really just killed me, to be honest with you. I felt like I kind of let my teammates down a little bit, and obviously when we came back Bellevue week 4, we went 46-0 won 46-0, and just kind of sparked it a little bit more. So. Just this thing I had to learn. Learned it early, learned the hard way, but I learned a lot from it, so I took that to heart.
Were you at all surprised with how well the team did? Your quarterback.
Yeah.
I apologize, I don't know your roster.
McGuire Albert.
He just took off. He was.
Yeah.
He had great games from what I read in
he did.
Stories, Kurt, and I was surprised. I don't think a lot of people thought that the backup would be able to do as well as be undefeated until you were able to take the reins back.
Yeah, I mean I helped him during practice as much as I could, and he knew. I mean, from the start of summer, he knew that in his mind he was going to be the guy for them 3 games. He knew he had to be that, and he prepared, worked out, did everything he had to do to make sure we were ready, and like you saw, he threw for 14 touchdowns in 3 games and threw over 700 yards. So, I mean, he did a great job. Stepped in, did what he had to do, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
It might not be it'll certainly be a little bit of a drop off, but not as substantial, I think, as people might think.
Yeah.
When you lose a Big Ten quarterback, I mean, he's gonna be able to come in there, and he's got some experience now.
Yeah.
So the future certainly looks bright for him.
Yeah, the future looks bright. Those 3 games, it helped some of the younger guys like Owen Fisher and McGuire Albert. Owen played running back when Devin was out, and we have another freshman, Tassandre Hall. So those guys getting their experience now, and getting they did good in football their 8th grade year. They were undefeated, but getting the experience varsity and seeing how our class has what you got to do to be at the top. I think that will really help them and have their experience, and they know what they got to look forward to next year. So when we all leave, all 19 of us, our program will still keep going up and up.
Sure. Now you're a guy who's gone to, he did the camp circuit during the summers and stuff. I mean, what is that experience like? I mean, when did you start going to those camps, and when did you start attracting some D1 teams?
Well, freshman year, Toledo was my biggest. Like, they hit me hard right in my freshman year. I went to a camp there. I was new to the whole recruiting process. I was not sure what was happening. I just know that I went to some camps at Toledo. I'm not sure. I know I went to a few other ones, but I'm not too sure. I kind of forget those ones. But I just remember Toledo was my first offer.
Right.
And when they offered Coach Campbell, when he was there, he offered me in the middle of the Toledo practice field. And I wasn't really sure, I wasn't sure an offer, I knew what it was, but I wasn't sure,
Right.
What it all entailed.
Is there a lot of pressure in that? I feel like, maybe this is why I'm not a future Big Ten athlete, but I think that I would probably worry or make a big deal out of the fact that I was being offered to by D1 schools in my freshman year.
Yeah.
What's the mentality like for you as a freshman comparatively to now?
Yeah. I don't really know. It was so new. You just grow into the things that happen during the recruiting process. You get better at it. It's a business. The recruiting process is a business. So, and you got to look out. I'm looking out for my own future.
Right.
Seeing the best possible outcome. That's why I chose Minnesota, because I feel like that's the best outcome for me and my future, athletically, academically, and in the job force. So.
Did you enjoy it? I mean, some people.
Yeah.
We talked to some guys, and they think. They didn't seem to have a good time. During that process, because I'm sure it is very stressful. But is it something you can enjoy?
Yeah, it's something that it really matures you.
Right.
Because you talk to so many higher, class coaches, and just you present yourself. You have to present yourself in such a manner that they look at you as a high profile person, kid. Student, and all those things. Right. And so, it really helped me mature, and it's something that I wouldn't probably want to go through again. Right. Going through it once was perfect for me, and it's a great experience, and it helps me mature a lot quicker. But once I went through it, I'm good now, so got to get through it.
When you go and certainly no disrespect to the guys that you play with at Shelby, but
yeah.
the guys you're throwing to at those camps, I would imagine, are ultra elite guys. Do you have to throw the ball differently? How's that work?
Well, the game is those guys are a lot quicker on the outside when I get to those camps. Obviously, they got some speed to work with. We have speed too. It's just it really is no different. I go to the camp and throw with those guys, but when I get back to Shelby and throw with my receivers, we've, like I said, chemistry's just been always there. Right. So it just clicks right away. Just boom, clicks. We're good.
Do you run into the same kids at those camps, camp after camp, or are there different?
I see them at multiple camps.
Right.
Yeah, I see tons of guys at multiple camps, just quarterbacks. I was like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? Right. You build relationships, maybe not quite as strong ones, but you will make acquaintances with players out there. So.
Is it like a rivalry where you want to outbeat them in certain aspects, or
yeah.
is it these guys are my new friends for the day?
You try to once you're out there, you focus, but when you're in, sometimes you got to stand in line and wait for them to, roll you through. So you talk to them, ask them different questions, things like that, get to know them a little bit better. But yeah, once you're out there throwing or doing what you have to do, it's pretty intense.
Are you maybe it's a silly question, but that's never stopped me in the past. Are you a college football fan? Do you like to sit down and watch games on Saturdays?
Yeah, I'd prefer college over NFL for sure. I think it just the students and the student section, all that, just the whole vibe of the community, students all coming together and just watching student athletes play football. It's just a cool experience, and watching those guys all came from high school and now they're in college, so they all went through the same experience as I am. So I can kind of look forward to that.
Right. And you chose Minnesota and PJ Fleck. From everything I've heard and read, he's a really charismatic, high energy guy. What attracted you, I guess, to him?
I feel like what really attracted me was, like you said, the energy he brought, and I feel like the confidence he had in me. From day one, he was I was just always the guy for him. He said he recruited multiple. Before he had me, he recruited multiple quarterbacks, and he said that, I was the guy he was looking for, and I met his, what he was looking for in a quarterback, just him saying that to me, I went there. Actually, I visited Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I visited her Saturday, Iowa State, and visited her Sunday. So it was a quick visit Sunday. And he threw tons of stuff. I sat in his office for like an hour and a half, and he was explaining to me like what his process was with the culture, what he's going to rebuild, and things like that. And I like went home, my head was throbbing. Like I was just like, wow, there's so much to think about. And like a week later, I sat down. I was like, it was late at night. It was like 11:30 at night, and I went home. He called me. I talked to him. I went home because I was at a friend's house. Went home to my mom and dad at 11:30. I was like, I just talked to Coach Fleck. I'm really confident in just committing there, and I wanted to go there. So, just the way he believes in me and things like that just really just triggered me to be there. And what I think he's going to change with the Big Ten, with Minnesota going into the Big Ten. So that's really what it was.
I would imagine, and I never played football at a high level, but I would imagine it's comparatively speaking, high school to college. I mean, it's like you're playing chess compared to checkers once you get there. I mean, how much more sophisticated, I guess, are college offenses? And I mean, have you had a chance to even look into that?
A little bit. Like I've heard things and I know how things happen. I'm just gonna have to learn on the fly.
Right.
Because, when I get in there, I'm going to learn on the fly. I'm going to make mistakes. It's going to happen because I'm going to be out in the field doing different things. I'm going to make mistakes being as a freshman. So I'm learning on the fly when I get there. Hopefully I learn it pretty quickly. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to get there, study, with my academics and get ready for the football. Because when spring ball comes, I kind of want to be ready to roll and kind of have a good feel of our offense.
Right.
So,
have they told you if you're going to be redshirted or not, or is that a decision that waits until you've actually signed a contract?
I think they'll figure out when I get there. They'll see where I'm at. I don't think I'll be redshirted. Hopefully I don't. I mean, if I do, it's okay. But injury, something like that.
Right.
I don't think I'll get redshirted. Hopefully, hopefully I come in there and prove myself right off the get-go and take control of what Coach Fleck is, giving me an opportunity to take control of. So that's my biggest goal right now is getting. We get through this high school season and I switch my mind to college, which is going to be a big step. But, going in there, having the same mindset I had from 8th grade to freshman year, going into senior year to college. So kind of stepping in that big role.
Have you gotten a chance to speak with any of the current quarterbacks?
Not really.
No.
I really haven't, because I visited there once. It's hard for me to get there sometimes, especially with the season coming on.
Yeah,
so
it's not close by any means.
Yeah, it's not very close. So I talked to the coaches. I talked to Coach Rock, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and I talked to Coach Fleck every day. And Coach Warner, too, he was at the Ohio State lineman. He was the Ohio State lineman coach, but he went to Minnesota, and now he's coaching lineman there. But he recruits Ohio. So I talked to all three of those coaches every week. So
I mean, I was looking at the roster. They had a lot of, I think 6 quarterbacks on the roster, and I think 4 of them are freshmen or redshirt. I mean, is that even something you take into account, or are you just more interested in finding a good fit for you, and then those things will take care of themselves?
Yeah. Well, I kind of look at it all in one piece. Like if I can find, Minnesota was like the perfect one for me. Like they were a little down on their quarterbacks. Like they have a senior right now. He's going to graduate. They have another junior coming. They have a junior still. But just my opportunity going there, stepping in, I feel like I have a really good shot. And I'm Coach Fleck's his first quarterback recruit coming in for him. So obviously I'm going to get a lot of opportunities, and I got to take full advantage of those ones. So
good. Just a few more things. Do you have a major in mind yet? I mean, what do you want to study once you get there?
I was obviously business. I think he says the city brings tremendous opportunities, being right there with the Twin Cities.
Right.
Yeah. I forget how many Fortune 500 companies, but he gets you. He doesn't. Coach Fleck really focuses on spiritually, academic, athletic, and socially, things like that. Those are his 4 big things, and he just he tries to create a great man after college. So with him, he does a lot of bringing in companies and get to face-to-face with maybe CEOs, just building a connection with those people.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I mean, he really sets you up to a great life. I mean, if you take full advantage of what he gives you, he's going to set you up for a great run with your life. So.
I mean, beyond football, I mean, would you like to coach at some point in the future? Would you? I mean,
that might be something I decide on. Maybe I want to coach. I haven't really thought about it. I kind of want to stick with my business major and see where that takes me. But coaching will be always maybe a fallback. Because I've already experienced the college thing. So if I ever wanted to get into coaching, I could probably try to do that. So.
Just, I mean, going forward here, I mean, you guys, 6-0? You have a good team coming up this weekend in Edison. I mean, what are the goals and expectations here for the next 4 weeks and beyond? Because it looks pretty, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it looks like, there'll be a week 11 and a week 12 for you guys.
Yeah. Obviously this week we're focused on another win. By far, Edison is probably the best team we've played. Overall, what they do, they're good at what they do.
Sure.
So, we're prepared. We prepared all through Wednesday. And so, we're just looking out there to go. They're going to be physical with us. We got to be physical back. Just do what we do, basically. We just got to come out there and just play how we play. And I think what we'll take care of what we have to take care of.
And I've covered you a few times, and I'm down on the field, and I hear you break the huddle and you say, state champs. And so, a lot of teams do that, but that seems, and not, you guys aren't being arrogant about it. That seems like a pretty realistic expectation for this team.
Yeah, after every practice we break with state champs. It's just something that we think we can get to.
Sure.
It's just a goal that we always are going to have. And obviously, being our senior year after the last year, going 11-2, getting to the regional finals, we feel like we have a really good shot this year. And like I said, we always remind ourselves that that's our main goal is our SBC championship and then state playoff run.
Yeah, I mean, as good as you guys were last year, I mean, you didn't get that NOL championship.
No.
I would imagine that's a pretty big motivator this year.
Getting do you feel like that's a bit of I don't know how to phrase this really, but do you feel like that's almost helpful in the situation that you have experience and that you have maybe even more desire than if you hadn't been to that close before, like just out of your reach?
Yeah,
to get there?
Just being there gives us tons of experience because most of our seniors we played. I mean, I don't know how many seniors we graduated last year, but the juniors from last year, now seniors this year with my class, we played there. They saw what it's like and what it takes. So I feel like with the guys that came in and stepped in now, like in our senior class, like maybe our whole defensive line and all that, but they know the experience now. So being there really helped our team, and that's why our goal is to get to the state championship.
Well, good. I think we've exhausted everything that we wanted to. We certainly appreciate you coming in, and hopefully we'll be seeing you and Jornell Manns hook up a few times in the next few years. So
line up the Big Ten network.
Yeah, we'll try. That's our goal.
Well, thanks again for coming down, and I'm sure we'll be watching the Whippets here as they go forward. So, Brennan Armstrong.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much.